Donald Trump has been raging after Fox News betrayed him and invited Governor Tim Walz, a potential Kamala Harris vice president pick, to trash Trump on air. So let's take a look and watch what Tim Walz had to say that made Trump so angry. And of course, we'll read what Trump said in response, so make sure you stick to the end of the video.
Harris has to make a choice now. She's looking for a running mate. We can put up on the board here the people who are possibly being vetted. Are you being vetted to be a vice presidential choice for Kamala Harris?
Look, I spoke with the vice president. I'm not going to get into exactly what we spoke about, but we have the same values. We believe we can win in the Midwest. I think what I'm most proud of is if you look at those folks you put up there, they're Democratic governors. That's because Democratic states are creating jobs. Democratic states are welcoming. Democratic states are protecting those personal freedoms, those things like reproductive rights, your ability to be able to marry who you wish to marry, those types of things that are basic American values. And so my case on that is I will do what's ever necessary to make sure that those values are front and center.
There is certain irony to saying that Donald Trump is bad for democracy, when it looks pretty obvious that the Democratic Party leapfrogged the entire democratic system, and they did it in about 24 hours publicly.
Look, the process has always been there. I welcome, if Sean or anybody wants to become a DNC delegate, you're welcome to. But what I know is Democrats are ready to move when the situation warrants it. Look, it doesn't matter convictions. It doesn't matter failed policies. Republican Party stuck with Donald Trump. He's yours. You've got him. Welcome to it. Democratic Party can make our decisions. We pick our nominee. Look, if you don't like it, don't vote for it in November. But I think the American public are going to see they knew that this administration was delivering. We knew that as far as economic numbers placed against global numbers, America's in a far better shape. And we also know that a foreign policy that respects our alliances, not cozying up to dictators like Putin and Orban, is not the way to go.
How about this one, Governor?
J.D. Vance, mind your own business is what I would tell them. We'll manage it.
Tim Walz did an amazing job defending himself and the Democratic Party, and it is very clear that he knows what he's doing. He understands just how important the rural vote is, and that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are not the people who understand and support those more rural voters. And I think he proves just how well he knows these voters in this clip. So let's watch that, and then we'll review what Trump had to say in response to all of this.
What have you learned in bringing together the rural and the urban voters in your state that you think the Harris campaign can use to really engage some parts of America that have really turned quite red, particularly the rural parts of the country? What should they take from the Minnesota story?
Yeah, the Midwest is the key. And look, I represented Joe was talking about Steve King. My district bordered Steve King's, and on the other side was Michelle Bachmann. What I know is that people like J.D. Vance know nothing about small-town America. My town had 400 people in it, 24 kids in my graduating class, 12 were cousins, and he gets it all wrong. It's not about hate. It's not about collapsing in. The golden rule there is mind your own damn business. Their policies are what destroyed rural America. They've divided us. They're in our exam rooms. They're telling us what books to read. And I think what Kamala Harris knows is bringing people together around the shared values, strong public schools, strong labor unions that create the middle class, healthcare that's affordable and accessible. Those are the things. You look what they're talking about. They went right to division. They did not give us a plan on healthcare. Donald Trump talked about infrastructure. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris built bridges, built roads. So I think this is going back to the bread and butter, getting away from this division. We do not like what has happened where we can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner with our uncle because you end up in some weird fight that is unnecessary. and I think bringing back people together, well, it's true. These guys are just weird. And it's, they're running for He-Man Women Haters Club or something. That's what they go at. That's not what people are interested in. And there is angst because robber barons like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump gutted the Midwest, told us we didn't do that. They talk about private schools. Where in the heck are you going to find a private school in a town of 400? Those are public schools. Those are great teachers that are out there making a difference and gave us an opportunity to succeed. That angst that J.D. Vance talks about in Hillbilly Elegy, none of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale, and none of them went on to be venture capitalists or whatever. It's not who people really are. So I think that message doesn't resonate. You saw it yesterday. The energy out here exploded. We all broke fundraising records, but that's not what I look at. Door knocks are full. phone banks are full. People are talking about what's possible. We are finally on offense about an America where we're all together. So good. Have Orban down to Florida. The vice president will come out here and stand in a Planned Parenthood. She stands in a Planned Parenthood clinic in St. Paul. That's what people want to see.
So yeah, Tim Walz made some really great points here, and I think this shows just how much he understands and cares about his voters. And Tim calling out Trump like that clearly made him super angry, because Trump said, "Why did Fox News put up Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, where I am leading? They make me fight battles that I shouldn't have to fight." Well, Donald, I don't exactly think you'll be leading there for much longer. And I think this response just shows how scared he is of the Democrats' new push, because we are looking stronger than ever. And he's angry that Fox News let Tim speak on their platform because they get to see firsthand how strong this party has become in just a couple of days. The more rural voters, who tend to be more Republican, are getting to see firsthand someone who actually understands them. And as we've seen, Trump clearly doesn't understand his base and what they need, but Tim Walz proved to them live on air that he hears and understands their struggles. And this is obviously very damaging to Trump's campaign, as indicated by his freak out on social media. So I am loving every second of the Republican Party, especially Trump, freaking out over their polls quickly falling as the Democrats come together stronger than ever, ready to rock the polls this November.